One of the most painful things that you could do to someone with an anxious attachment style is storm out in the middle of conflict. I'll explain why. At the root of an anxious attachment style is an unhealed abandonment wound. This trauma is not only stored in the mind, but it's also stored in the body. When you abruptly leave an argument in anger and give no inclination as to when you'll return, not only do they become emotionally flooded, but this sends their nervous system into a frenzy, meaning they experience this anxiety on a physiological level. Shortness of breath, elevated heart rate, a heavy weight on their chest, dizziness, muscle contractions in the arms and legs. This is why they continue to text, why they continue to call, beg, plead, do absolutely anything to reestablish connection. In other words, the protest behaviors. It is a trauma response that is both emotionally and physically painful. When your partner engages in these behaviors, it's because they're desperately seeking your help. They want you to say, it's just a disagreement. I still love you. I'm still here. 9 times out of 10, those words are enough to calm the alarm that they feel in their body. Taking space when conflict has become unproductive is actually a very healthy practice when it's done correctly. So what does a healthy pause look like? Whoever calls for space is responsible for setting a definitive and reasonable time for when you will revisit the conversation. For example, I love you, this situation is important to me, but I feel like this conversation is becoming unproductive. I need some time and space to process. Let's pick this up in 30 minutes, 2 hours, tonight, tomorrow. Space should be taken without ambiguity, and it should be taken with the intentionality to resolve, not avoid. If you are in an argument and you feel the intense urge to flee, it's because you too are experiencing anxiety. It's because you too are experiencing a trauma response that stems from your own unhealed wound. The reality is that your partner is more likely to respect that boundary and give you what you need if you extend the same compassion and consideration. You engage in this one small practice, and I promise you that your conflict will become a lot healthier. You will also help each other progress further in your healing journey. If you have an anxious or one of the avoidant attachment styles, I strongly recommend this book. It gives actionable advice on how to heal the wounds that are creating these triggers in the first place. And for those of you who feel like you're struggling regulating your nervous system when you're triggered, I strongly recommend reading Anxiety RX by neuroscientist and medical doctor Russell Kennedy. This book addresses the physiological symptoms of anxiety and gives actionable steps on how to calm the alarm in the body. Why is this important? It is extremely difficult to connect, to be vulnerable, and to resolve conflict when we're in a constant state of fight or flight. If this video resonates, make sure to like, comment, and follow. And if you ever need a little extra guidance, I offer these really laid-back one-on-one sessions where you're able to speak freely without any judgment and, of course, get some feedback in return.